So, what's the name? The name of the piece? Is it just self-portrait?
No, it's... Damn, I can't remember now. It's something to the effect of, sometimes I wish I made different choices. Or no, sometimes I wish I had done things differently.
And you painted it this year?
December 2009.
Why don't you describe the piece first?
4 separate panels on paper, gouache self-portraits, and within those 4 panels there's 5 different versions of myself. Very bottom heavy, they're all down the bottom, nothing up below this part of the nose, and kind of like as if they're peeking over the edge of the border. And then there's 5 different versions of myself, and each one I had like planned out intricately in notes, basically creating a timeline of my life and all the major decisions I've made throughout my life. And if I had done things a little bit differently, this is the path that I would have taken, and this is who I would have become. So it's kind of like a choose your own adventure with the artwork.
So it was always conceived as a joint piece, all the images of you, basically.
Yeah, and I probably would have put it on one big piece of paper at the time if I could have afforded it, but I was broke, so I just found whatever paper I could find lying around my classroom. I actually stole the paper and then painted on it. But I kind of like how it ended up working out in different panels, because you can situate them any way you want. They seem a little more disjointed if you spread them out further, or if you just set them up in a big line. But they do all fit together if you do it horizontally.
Yeah. But there's no right way to hang it.
No.
It's a fluid piece.
Yeah.
It's open to do. And how long did it take you to do?
I did the whole thing in about 2 days, actually. I went through it.
You've been working in gouache?
Gouache. That was actually the first gouache piece that I did, and then from there I started working on the large-scale stuff. But that was for a class assignment. It was actually my class final for life drawings.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I waited till the last minute. Actually, I started this whole other painting as an oil piece, and it sucked, and I hated it. I was like pulling my hair out over it, and so drinking myself into a stupor actually in the studio.
And that's what came out of it?
Yeah, and then I said, fuck it, so then I made this. And, so me and Captain Morgan made that piece.
Yeah. So it's a really personal piece. I mean, if someone was to buy it, you don't have any problem parting with it. But
no.
You find that self-portraits being more personal than the other pieces?
Sure, it's a little bit more personal, especially this one, especially since I put so much thought into my life and all the choices I've made and the poor choices I've made. But no, I don't have any problem parting with it, especially if it helps pay the bills. But it's also a little bit older now too. I mean, it was made 7 months ago now, 8 months ago.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some emotional distance there.
It's good to hear someone who's been the subject of your paintings.
Yeah.
And that you don't just mind selling your friends. You're okay with selling yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and you're a big seller too. So.
Yeah. Every time you need a little boost.
Thanks.
Well, I think I really like the piece. I'm just an interviewer. I'm not an art critic or anything.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know if you knew that. I think it turned out well.
Thanks.
Sure. I think technically, I will say this. Technically, I was looking at it, and I think it's so much is going on with so little. It reminds me of Chuck Close in that way, where I don't know how you seem to be able to capture people's faces with so few brushstrokes, and obviously you come up closer, it almost looks like an abstract painting, but as you step back, it's like, not only is it a picture view, but it's like your eyes are there, and your expressions are there, and things like that.
Yeah, I think I started doing the minimal amount of brushstrokes out of necessity, simply for time crunch issues. But then, the next series that I did, those really large scale bodies in gouache, I think was definitely a take on that, where I wanted to create kind of a minimal amount of strokes, a minimal amount of commitment. I think I wanted something immediate. I wanted something that had that immediate gratification. And that definitely pleased my professors too, because they've been telling me this whole time, you loosen up, too tight, stuff's too contrived. I think they're right, because I started hating my artwork when I was doing this tight little detail. So, especially with gouache, you can't go over your mistakes. You make a stroke and then that's it. So it's very unforgiving in that way, but I like it.
In your style, the paper shows through. So I always wonder about that. If you paint over a part that's supposed to be paper, is it done? Yeah.
So there was a couple parts where I accidentally splashed on there, and I hope that just registers as I don't know, emotional mark making or something. But yeah, when one of the figures, the hair was actually like in a big tuft, and that was an accident. So I just kind of had to go with it. Yeah, and I turned it into like a faux hawk.
Right. Just like not having enough paper.
Right.
Those things can all be happy accidents.
Yeah, and I think like especially once you put it on like the gallery wall, like once it's out of your studio and you have a big fucking mess everywhere, once you put it on the gallery wall, make it look pretty, have a label next to it, lots of other respectable artwork around it, people all of a sudden just believe whatever you give them. They're like, oh, well, you meant it. Sure, all right.
Well, cool. Hey, thanks for talking to us on this episode of
Thank you, sir.
Chicago Art Daily. That's all for now. Keep making good art, and we'll sign off. Thanks.
What's your name?
Gabriel Mejia. GabrielMejia.com.